Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new map. This is Havana, and we've got a load of lore here. This has just kind of come out of nowhere. It's Sunday. We didn't really expect any updates like this to happen, but here we are. We've got the Don Rumbotico, well, factory there. There's a picture, but we'll get on and I'll explain this in this video. So, what the hell has just happened? Well, what we got is this. This is a tweet which has literally just dropped. I mean, as of recording this video, it dropped like, what, 20 minutes ago or something like that? Yeah, about 20 minutes ago. So this is like completely fresh off the press. Now, it says local, so it means it's a local news report. How Don Rumbotico's international fame is slowly erasing its founders from the narrative. Okay, so it's a bit cryptic there, but I think what that means is Don Rumbotico is, well, we'll get onto it because I kind of know what it means. So I've just read this before doing this video. So we'll get onto it. All right. So, and there's a link, right? And then there's this image, which is not there, which is there, which is this image we open the video with. However, we get this tweet, we go to that, and I make a stupid comment. I'm like, yeah, can I buy a fat cigar? Turns out there are fat cigars on show. So the link takes us to this page. Now, this says, local, how Don Rumbotico's international fame is slowly erasing its founders from the narrative. Exactly what the tweet said. However, there's this massive Havana Sun newspaper. Now, this is obviously not in English. I cannot read this, but there is a translation provided on the Blizzard site. You can see some bits and pieces here. You can see things like the date, 2060, Havana Sun. You got like the nice image here of the factory itself. But we'll go into detail on those in a second. Actually, I really like this car because that looks like a modern version of the 1950s American-style cars you see going around Cuba. Because of all the problems in the past with imports going into Cuba, they've had to maintain all the old American cars, and they're like super cool. So I really like that detail. That is like really cool detail. Anyway, yeah, there's the cigars. As you can kind of see, I'm like right next to them. Give me them cigars. All right, but this is in English, right? So what we're going to do is, before we come back to this, let's take a look at this. So this is the breakdown of it in English, and we'll go over this and we'll see what it means. Now, what I want you guys to do in the comments is, if you can think of anything which connects what I'm about to go over, then stick it in the comments. Also, tweet it to me on @Stylosa on Twitter. So let's get stuck into this. It says, a local legacy forgotten. How Don Rumbotico's international fame is slowly erasing its founders from the narrative. By Marizi, I butchered your name. I have absolutely, it's not Marizi, is it? By Solis, right? Mary Solis. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. That is such a terribly English thing to do. Just butcher your name. I'm sorry. Okay. These days, everyone knows Don Rumbotico. Savor the quality. Only the best. Adds in warm, rich colours and logo featuring a well-dressed Omnic. But few outside of Havana know of the distillery's hometown roots and controversial recent history. Now, isn't Don Rumbotico, isn't that advertised in Numbani as well? I think it might be, actually. On the first point, maybe? I don't know. It might be, yeah, it might be. Anyway, Don Rumbotico has never meant to be a major operation. Was never meant to be a major operation, says Alicia Diaz. Their many generations great-granddaughter. We sat together in a local bar, and a great giant billboard, on a giant billboard. I haven't got my glasses on, so I'm like literally inventing words. No, and a giant billboard advertising Don Rumbotico. Only the best is visible from the window. Back then, it really was about quality. I tell you what, can we zoom in a bit on this? I forgot the shortcut. There we go. We'll zoom in a bit. There we go. Cool. Maybe a bit more. There we go. Spicy. Okay. Almost 2 centuries ago, Clara and Bastillo Diaz used their savings to open a small rum distillery. It was a modest family business specializing in small batch, barrel-aged rum. Until 2060, few outsiders of Cuba knew the name Don Rumbotico, but the brand was wildly popular in Havana. Alicia, like the generations of Diaz's before her, is an expert rum maker. The classic Don Rumbotico recipe is a closely guarded family secret, and one celebrated as a Cuban favourite. Okay, cool. So we've got a bit of history there about where the rum's coming from, introducing Don Rumbotico, introducing actual new lore into the game. Thank God, Blizzard. Or some lore anyway. Thank God, Blizzard. All right, then it goes on to say this. But things have changed in recent years. An anonymous financial group expressed interest in purchasing the company and distillery. They offered us a lot of money, says Alicia says. It could have changed our lives, but Don Rumbotico is my family's legacy, and you can't put a price on that. Now, this must be Talon, right? I think a lot of these recent lore updates are just very simplistic, or basic, not simplistic, but whatever it's implying is probably true. If you look at the Baptiste stuff, it was very in your face. It was like, okay, here's Baptiste, he's going to be a combat medic, okay, and this is his name. I mean, it was very obvious that's what was going to happen. Now, we know there was reference to the port, wasn't there? Which is in oh my God, was a reference to Haiti. So that links to Baptiste, but we know Baptiste was operating in Havana, I do believe, because that was one of the missions he was on. So this is where it all kind of links together, I think. Anyway, and this is where the Talon involvement comes in, and this is probably where we're going to see some sort of Baptiste Talon kind of mission going on for the Archives event. At least that's what we think. All right, so at first, the Diaz family refused, but then rum shipments began to go missing. So again, you know, just trying to... Talon typically being gangsters, like, yeah, we're just going to take your rum. You're not going to be able to do anything about it. So, ha 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 ha. Yeah, when the distillery burned down in a suspected case of arson, again, escalating it again, steal the rum, then burn the place down, the Diaz family was left with nothing. They were forced to sell the company for a sliver of its worth. Okay, unlucky. Now, Don Rumbotico is a worldwide brand, and its unfortunate history has been sanitized for public consumption. Basilio Diaz's kindly familiar what? Basilio Diaz's kindly familiar visage on the label is gone. There we go. Replaced by a shiny chrome. The distillery has been rebuilt, but the recipes are different. You can taste the difference. It is not the same. Okay, so the modern... actually, this is really cool. So what that is implying there is this old sort of like image there. You guys can kind of see that here. That old style Omnic is not actually on the modern adverts, which would line up with the ones that are on Numbani, if that's what I'm thinking, if that is actually true. I'm pretty sure the Omnic is advertising some sort of drink, isn't he? Like some sort of oil Omnic drink or something funky. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Don Rumbotico isn't the only beloved local icon to suffer unwelcome changes. The Havana Sea Fort was a historical landmark and has been protected by the Cuban government for centuries. But 2 years ago, it was bought by the same group who purchased Don Rumbotico and became private property. So, I think this is very, very clearly saying the Havana Sea Fort, this is the map, right? Well, the map might be the distillery is probably part of the map or really close to the map, and the map probably encompasses the sea fort and the distillery. This must be the Talon base, right? So Talon have bought the rum company, they've bought the fort, turned it into a base of operation. That's probably what's happened. Okay, so but 2 years ago, it was bought by the same people who purchased Don Rumbotico and became private property. Like the rum distillery, the sea fort too is almost unrecognizable. Now, security guards patrol its grounds and unfamiliar helicopters traffic through its airspace, while doors remain closed to the public for the foreseeable future. Yeah, it's Talon. It's absolutely Talon operations going on there. The face of Havana is changing, Alicia says. Throughout our conversation, she hasn't touched her drink. Don Rumbotico gazes down from the billboard outside. The brim of his fedora casting a shadow across his metal face. Sometimes it feels like we're losing a piece of ourselves, or maybe we've already lost it. Okay, cool. So, and Cuban braces for Hurricane Fernand. Or Fernand, not Ferdinand. Hurricane Fernand swept in from the Atlantic on Tuesday, flooding the Florida coastline and heading south towards the Bahamas. The Category 3 storm is due to hit Guadalajara. Can't read that. Guadalajara? I don't know. By Thursday, and work its way up the coast of Havana. Winds of up to 193 kilometers per hour projected, along with substantial flooding. All right, so this is setting us. This is the setting, right? I think this is what's going on. So there's going to be a storm. There's going to be a castle, the sea fort, which is going to be the Talon base, and there's going to be the rum distillery as well. And something's going to go on. Communities along the coastline are being evacuated. Hurricane... I thought it was Ferdinand. You think they would have checked the copy before it went live? Should we refresh it? Maybe they fixed it. No. Maybe it's meant to be like that. I don't know. That seems weird. Anyway, Hurricane Ferdinand is expected to cause massive damage even inland. It's not a small town, said Governor Orioli Delgado. That was an amazing accent. Delgado. That was like Italian more than anything. During a press conference yesterday. Don't try to wait it out. Take every precaution to ensure your safety and head inland as soon as possible. So this, I think, is setting the scene for the area to be evacuated for something dastardly to go on. Now we've got comments on this. These are going to be pretty funny comments. Read this comment if Todd needs a hammer buff. Yeah, new Archives event? Probably. One of a piece. I can't wait for the Archives event. Law. Yes. I know Blizzard has nothing to do with this, but revert, please. What? I'm just here for the... Okay. date is 2060. Yeah, but I think that's in the past. Okay, cool. Right, all right, okay. So, let's get off this and let's go and look at this. In fact, not this, at this, because it's a different image. Yeah, so let's take a look at this picture then. So, like, we've got a really cool card down the bottom. I really like that. That, like I explained earlier on, that is such a cool little touch. We've got the nice architecture here, sort of like the Cuban, you know, slightly futuristic take on it, I guess. I don't know, it's really cool. It's like a 1950s American sort of vibe going on. It's really cool. But yeah, this is clearly, there's some sort of technological stuff going on in there. It's clearly like there's a point in there, a capture point maybe of some description. I don't know. That's a cool image. Then we go down here and we've got this advert for the old style Don Rumbotico, which is not how it is anymore. Then we've got weather forecast again, telling us that there's a... Oh, this actually might be the date. This might... Hang on, you can't see it, can you guys? Because I'm in the way. One sec. Let me move my camera. Here we go. There we go. I'll go over there. There we go. But can you see there? This might be telling us the date that on the 27th something happens, although that seems very far away. I don't know. What do you guys think? There might be some significance to this, but it's clearly showing the weather getting worse, and then there's a hurricane going on here, which is going to be really cool. So I honestly, I think like we could look at this forever. We could just try and do some crazy speculation, but I think... I mean, well, we've got this little bit of text here we could read out as well. So, unwelcome changes threaten Havana. Fernand. You see, Ferdinand might have been a mistake on that thing. I don't know. Hurricane Ferdinand braces for Hurricane Ferdinand. So, yeah, it's repeating this. So, something is going to happen with the weather. It's going to go downhill. Then we're going to have something going on here at this facility. At least that's what we think. It's cool. Anyway, it's cool to get this. It's cool to sit here and speculate on as to what's going to happen with the game, what's going on. But yeah, this looks like the new Archives event. It looks like the Havana map is confirmed because this is Havana, and it's the first time we've seen any kind of in-game rendering of what's going on there. Another new map for Overwatch tied into an event. Probably what will happen is when the Archives event finishes, we will get the new map. The thing is with this, though, this might mean the event goes live this Tuesday, because why start teasing it now? So when we go back and think of the dates, I mean, what would the date be next Tuesday? It would be the 9th. So maybe it goes live on the 9th. Is there any mention to the 9th here? No, I don't know. All right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I've been Stylosa, this Unit Lost. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then like the video below. Remember, you can sub to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @Stylosa. And I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.